y'all. Whew, we gonna just keep it right here for right now. For some reason, if you are checking this out on the replay, for some reason, it is not allowing me, y'all, to turn my camera. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry. But for some reason, it is not allowing me to stream horizontally. I don't know if it's a YouTube thing or what's going on, but I have tried. This is the first time that I've had this issue as far as trying to go live and doing it horizontal. I went live before YouTube and it's been great doing it horizontal, but this time when I tried to do it horizontal, y'all, listen, it didn't work out. So it said the only way that I could actually go live was to do it vertically. So this is kind of strange. And I'm gonna check on the side, y'all. I'm gonna check out on my iPad. Let's see how I look on there. This is so crazy to me because I don't understand why it has me vertical. It has me vertical on there too. So I don't know why. So what I would try to do, I am going to keep it this way. Maybe it's an error with YouTube, but we are still gonna have a good time. I'm not gonna waste time on trying to figure out why we are vertical and not horizontal. We're still here for a good time, so we are going to have a very good time. Hello, 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 Dimps Designs. How are you doing tonight? Listen, I don't know what's going on, everybody, but we're going to go vertical. We're going to go live, and I'm going to actually work on. I want to show y'all something first before I show y'all what I'm working on. I saw this. I'm a part of some very cool crochet groups, and I saw someone said if you do a hexagon shape, you can make some socks, right? So y'all, look at this, y'all. I forgot to tie off the beginning of the hexie in the middle before I sewed everything up. I forgot to tie it off. So this definitely has to get frog. But I wanted to show y'all this right here because what they said was that you can make a hexagon like you're making the hexagon sweater, but go to the ninth round. And she was saying go all the way to the ninth round, use a 5 millimeter hook. Is it 5 or 5.5? I get that mixed up, y'all. Wait a minute, because I'm gonna give y'all the right thing. It's a 5 millimeter hook. So she was like, use a 5 millimeter hook, make it like you're making a hexie cardigan, but only go to the ninth round, and then close your toe by doing 2 rounds of double crochet decreases, and then do 1 round of double crochet up top with 3 rounds of back post, front post double crochet, and you'll have you some very cool slippers. Now, I think, and I seamed it up like this because I still wanted this to show, and I think this is cute. And I even seen some people talk about it in the group. They were like, listen, that would be great to make Christmas stockings. So if you have like a fireplace and you want to hang some Christmas stockings from there, she was saying that that would be great for that too. So I was just like, that's not a bad thing. That's definitely not a bad idea. So I honestly wanted to see how they would turn out while making some slippers. But I think I'm gonna have to just frog this one and then try again because I forgot to tie it off. But what I'm going to be working on, let me show y'all this. I'm going to be working on a granny square blanket that I have to get done. And what it is, my husband has a friend, and I don't know how he saw the crochet or what it was about, y'all, but somehow he saw the crochet. And let me say this right now, y'all. Hello, hello to everybody coming in. Hello, Malibu Maddie. Hello, hello, everybody. Thank y'all for joining me on the live. So my husband don't realize. I think he knows I love to crochet, and I think he see that I crochet so fast and so quickly sometimes that he don't really put it in like how much it takes to crochet something. Because a friend of his was like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind having one of these blankets," and my husband's like, "Oh, no problem. She'll make you one." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure." But then it wasn't the recommended that I will make one. That was not the issue because I don't mind. I love making things for people and giving them away. So that's not the issue. The thing was, I was so tickled and taken back because I'm like, I don't think he realized that it's not going to take me a week just to make this blanket, because a week went by. He's like, oh, you got finished? And I'm like, no. Like, sir, no, 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 no. So, but this is how far I got on it, y'all. I went with, let me show y'all. This is how it looks. Let me see if I can put it up in here. Of course, everything is not going to show in here. But what I did, I'm going to tell y'all how I started. I did 4 squares. No, is it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I did 4 squares of granny squares, and I went all the way to 10 rounds. So I did 4 squares. I went to 10 rounds, and then I connected all 4. And then I'm going around now, excuse me, and I'm going to make a border. Now, one thing that's cool about this blanket, y'all, if you can see a square, I'm gonna show y'all one of the squares here. All of the squares, I use my favorite yarn, which is oh, it's gonna come to me. Like, how can it be your favorite yarn if you can't think about it? Let me think, y'all. What is it? The granny square yarn. But I don't like using the granny square yarn to make the granny squares the same way like the yarn says. I use them just in general. Like, I just kind of go back and forth with them. So I actually used all of my scrap granny square yarn and made the 4 actual 10 rounds of granny square, connect them together, and now I'm just going around, and I'm gonna go around as much as it's big for. I'm not, it's gonna be like, for it's for an adult, so I'm thinking I will do more so like I don't know how many rounds, but I want it to be big enough that it could be kind of like a lap blanket. So that's what I'm working on. So if y'all are crocheting and chatting with me tonight, let me know what y'all are working on, what is on your hook, or what has been on your hook recently, because y'all probably was like me and was getting some things crocheted and was just like, listen. Oh, and I forgot, I don't even have it on me. I did crochet the phone holder, because it's like, if you see the new phone holder now from Apple, they have like, they're selling this phone holder for like $150 for a small size. But then the crochet community is like, hey, we can make that ourselves. And I'm like, okay, let me jump and see how well I can make it, right? And I made one of those today. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let me know. Hello, hello to everyone that is joining the live. And if you're catching me on a replay, sorry that we are vertical, y'all, but we are still going to have a good time tonight, because guess what I did, y'all? I have, looking at my iPad, because I have it on my iPad as well in case I miss any, what's it called, any chat or anything like that. But what I did for the live, y'all, I have this, it's my inspiration jar, but I filled it up with topics, and these are like crochet topics that we could talk about throughout the live. And what I did was fill this up. It's a good bit in here too, but we're not, of course we're not going through all of these. We're just going to have a nice little crochet and chat about some, it's like, I guess, some different crochet hot takes is what I would call it. So we're going to just crochet and chat a little bit. I'm working on, like I say, I'm working on this granny square blanket. But first, before we get into any of the chats, I want y'all to tell me, how are y'all doing today? How are y'all feeling today? Like, I've had a pretty eventful day. I did crochet the I don't know what I did here, y'all. I messed that up. I did crochet the phone holder, and then I went and I told myself, I was just like, listen, I am going to crochet the pair of slippers so that I could show for the live. But when I forgot to tie that off and I messed those up, y'all, I said, put the hook down. Put the hook down, because what ended up happening, I think I was kind of getting a little fatigued. And sometimes I'm learning, because sometimes that happened with me. I would keep going and going and going like I'm the Energizer Bunny. And then next thing I know, I'm over here fighting for my life. Like, why I got a headache or why do I feel this way? And it could be because I just want to crochet and crochet and crochet. But now I'm learning that it is important to take a break. So that's what is very big for me. So that's how, I guess we could talk about that first. How important it is for us as crocheters and creators and crafters to take a break. I think it's so important to pause. Like, and I would love to know because with the crocheting chats, I want to know, is there anyone that really, share the same things as me? Because sometimes you can think that you're the only person that do something a certain way, and then you start talking to people and they're like, oh, we do that, I do that too, I do that too. So I would love to know, like, has it been a time as a creator or a crafter? And sometimes I have to slow myself down because I get so excited, y'all, and I talk very fast. So excuse me for that. But has there been a time to where y'all have, I guess it could be meeting a deadline when it comes to your craft, or just like wanting to get things done and you're like, I gotta get this done. So I'm gonna keep going. But then really your body is like, no, you need to stop. And then when you wake up the next morning, you already get some sleep, you feel good. What may have took you like say a couple of hours the night before when you're tired, you could actually get that done in like 30 minutes and you're sitting there like, oh man, how I got it done so fast the next day. But I think it's because we don't realize how much our bodies need the rest. We'll sit there and just keep going. Well, I can't say we. I I will sit there and keep going and going and going because I'll get so excited about the project and I'm just like, listen, I want to see how it looks completed. So with that too, another thing, y'all, that took me into another thought. I remember that when I make things, right? I make the slippers or I'll make a blanket. And after I'm finished with it, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it seemed like this is not right. So I'll put it down. But when I come back the next day, look at it with fresh eyes, it seems like, woohoo, it looks beautiful. And I'm like, I think we take for granted how important it is to put it down and walk back to the things that we create. We take that for granted because sometimes it's important. But the purpose of this live is the crocheting chat because y'all, we're going to talk today. But let's pull our first topic. Let's see what the first topic is. And I would love for y'all to comment in the comment below because we are chatting with each other. We are a crochet family and we are just going to chat a little bit. Okay, so the first question is, I think I'm gonna say this word right, so excuse me on this. Is gauge a suggestion or a rule? Gauge. I think it's gauge because we want, and like my mind wants to say gauge, but is gauge a suggestion or a rule? Let me know in the comments below. Is it a suggestion or is it a rule? Because I'm gonna tell you, for me, y'all, it's a suggestion. I do not follow those gauge. I say this with all respect, but you're extremely beautiful. Are you married? And if not, oh my goodness, y'all, don't pay. That is my husband. Thank you. I thank you so much. I think it's both. Thank you. That is my husband. I'm like, what? But thank you so much, honey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But okay, so she says, I think it's both. Okay, okay, yep, I can go with both because I'm gonna tell you why. As much as I feel like it's a suggestion, when I have found myself having to go back and say, you know what, I need to go back and do the gauge because this is off. So then I'm doing double work because I wanted to be a little stubborn and not actually, follow through with the suggestion or what the pattern says. But I'm a person, and I do this even with cooking. Like, I'm a person that will look at the ingredients and look at the recipe if I'm following a recipe or someone gives me a recipe. And if I was able to do that, y'all, I'll just look at the recipe, and then what I would do is just started cooking it my way. And I'm like, listen, so it doesn't turn out I don't really follow recipes. So I don't know. I don't want to say I don't follow the rules, but I kind of don't. So when it comes to the gauge, I have to tell myself, you need to pick that up and you need to follow that, especially if it's a benefit, because sometimes it really is. Because I was making a dress one time. I'm gonna tell y'all this story and then I am going to pick another question. But I was making a dress one time. Beautiful dress. I still have to make this dress. I did not finish it. I had pieces to this dress in my whips container, and I was making the dress. I didn't follow the gauge or nothing. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use the hook that's comfortable and I'm gonna get it done. And of course, the hook that was suggested was much smaller than what I was comfortable with using. So I was just like, oh, I think it'll be okay if I just use the hook that I like to use. And this was early on, but like I said, I still have the whip. Y'all, I never finished the dress because it was not turning out the way that it was looking, but it was definitely my fault because I did not follow that pattern and I did not understand how important gauge was. So it is important, I think, and just like okay, K Noise says, I think it's both. So I think you're right. You are absolutely right. So let's look at the next one. It says, y'all, whew, worst whip you abandoned and why? What is your worst whip that you abandoned and why? I have to think about that one. I have the worst whip that I abandoned and why. Okay, I just told y'all the story about the dress. So I would say the worst whip would have to be the dress. And I'm telling you, I think I was looking because I'm like, which one is in that container? Because I have a whips container right here. I think that's the worst one that I abandoned only because I did so much in that project and on that project, y'all, to where I could have had completed it, but I knew it was not the right way. And with doing so much sometimes, I don't want to whip all that. I did not want to go through, take it all apart. So what ended up happening was I just said, you know what? It is what it is. And I just kept it like that. So hey, that's what that was. I just kept it like that. And I think what would end up happening, I would actually probably recycle that yarn because it was supposed to be a blue dress. I'm trying to think, where was I going? Because it's a nice blue dress. Like it's not, because Tiffany blue is like lighter. So this blue was more so like I think it's like a darker in between type, that blue. Very, very nice blue. So the yarn is very nice too. And the yarn is very soft. So it is one of those things to where I would definitely just take it and undo it and probably use the yarn for something else. Whenever I decide to actually do the dress again and follow the gauge the right way, then we'll do that. But I'm looking at, there's another thing I see in here that I did. I remember it's like a little dress thing that I was trying to freehand and I was trying to make it for my daughter. And I messed that up. I messed that dress up. And she was just a little teeny little tot then. So I should have redid it and try to do it again. But I just kept it as a thing. But what I did, and I want y'all to tell me in the comments below too, do y'all do this with y'all whips? Because what I ended up doing was putting all my whips in this container, and it's a good bit of whips. But I said what I was wanting to do was take them all and make like a scrap yarn ball so it could be just colorful yarn. And just because a lot of stuff that I work with is a lot of variegated, I have some solids in there, but I think if I put them all together and make these scrap balls of yarn, it will look nice. um I've made scrap balls before, and the way that I do them is I will wind them up myself sometimes. I've had a winder before, and I did a couple. It was one of the hand winders. And I think when we moved, I got rid of the hand winder. So I would definitely like an electric winder. So one day when I get an electric winder, I would definitely use the electric winder for I'm sorry. I would definitely use the electric winder to wind up my whips, because I think they would create some great projects. And sometimes we forget about those whips, and we forget that you can really just take them apart and use that yarn, and before you know it, you got you a nice colorful project that you can actually be working on. So, hey. So right now on my project now that I'm working on, I have I connected, I'm gonna just tell y'all a little bit before I picked another one. I connected the squares, and I did a border. I think I did a border using the granny square yarn, and I did a border of like 2 or 3. And then in my mind, what I'm going to do is go back around in solid colors now, and then I'm going to just randomly use the solid colors that's on my in my stash, and I'm going to go around with 3 different rows of each of the solid color that I choose to use, because I have like a couple of solids. I have like some glitter yarn. I have that variegated and all that, but I don't want to use variegated since I use the granny square yarn for the 4 squares in the center. So I just wanted to have like a real nice solid. And this orange right here, 2 rounds, going on 2 rounds for the orange, and I'm gonna do it one more round so that we can have 3 rounds each of whatever solid color that I pull. So this right here is going to be a very, very unique blanket. I love granny square blankets. Like I always say, if you are new to this channel, that is something that I absolutely love. I absolutely love granny square blankets. Like they're some of my favorites. So I will make them, and I think my favorite granny square will be the scrap. I think because I like solids, I love solid, but it's something about like a colorful granny square blanket that can just sit amongst, like, you got a room, and typically when you see rooms, people have solid colors in their room. They may have like their couch gray, like my couch is gray, and across my couch, I have a granny square blanket that I did. And y'all, it is the most colorful thing, but it adds so much pop to the room. And I love it because it's not too big. It's just enough. It's just a good size just to sit on a chair. And the kids use it all the time. Like we can sit and watch a movie. They're grabbing that blanket. So, and I have a couple of granny squares too that I've already worked on throughout the year that is finished. And I don't know, I had an idea for them, but I'm not sure if I'm still keeping on to that idea, but we will see close to the end, because I'm gonna definitely come and talk to y'all about it. So we are going to pick another question, y'all. If y'all are just joining, or if you're going to watch me on the replay, y'all, we are crocheting and chatting. I wanted to just kind of be free, like just sit on here, talk to y'all. Like I said, I put some topics in my glass jar, and I was just randomly pulling them. So if y'all are looking or watching, hit that like and subscribe button. And then not only that, comment and let's talk and see if y'all share some of the same sentiments. Now, I am, just going through, as in like, excuse me, I can talk all day, y'all. I can talk because I'm talking like It's a whole bunch of people here watching me, and I'm gonna continue to do that because in my mind, it is a whole bunch of people, and we are talking and chatting about what we love. And you know what I'm saying? If you want to leave a comment so we can talk together. You know, let's make it a 2, 3, 4, 5-sided conversation. It is all love over here. You can feel comfortable to comment, y'all. All I ask is that you lead with love. That is all. Just lead with love because that's all I got to give. That's all I got to give you. If you're looking for something else, I don't got it over here. All I got is some probably like a whole bunch of colorful yarn and a whole bunch of love. That's all I got. So if you ain't looking for that, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe and you know how some people say, well, if you don't looking for that, you gotta go. But my thing is, if you're not looking for that, sometimes you don't even know that you need that. So stay a little while, and maybe you can feel this love all throughout this broadcast. Because, like I like to say, I am the all over the place crochet broadcast where we talk about a lot of stuff. I share with y'all my love for crochet and we just chatted up. That's what this channel is all about. Me sharing my love for crochet, and I really feel like sometimes through your conversations and through the things that you do, you can actually change somebody's heart, make them smile. You know, there's so much that can happen in it when you interact with people or when people encounter you. And I do not take that for granted. You hear me? I don't take it for granted at all, y'all. So let's pick another question. Let's pick another one. Another one. Let's pick another one, y'all. Okay, so this one says, dun, dun, dun. Okay, do strangers interrupt you when you crochet in public? Yes, 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 yes. Strangers interrupt me when I crochet in public. Y'all let me know in the comments below if you are crocheting in public, do strangers interrupt you? And I can honestly say, even without crocheting, like when you have, like, I think when you're doing anything in public that's outside of what others are doing, you will get someone that just is like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? You know, so I know when I do bring my hook and I'm outside, I'm crocheting, people do ask questions. And the beautiful thing about it is that's why I really love crochet. Because the beautiful thing about that is that just like I just said, it's crazy how the question is going to bring this all around. I don't take any interaction that I have with people for granted. So I use that time just to smile and to share love. My love for crochet may brighten their day, you know, and I do not take that for granted because you just never know. And sometimes some people would get angry that someone is interrupting them, or it's just like, hey, what you doing? Hey, this right here. Some people would say it's nosy or whatnot. For me, I just look at it the opposite. And I do that with everything. Because, for example, y'all, my kids wanted to see it was some wrestlers that we wanted to see, some WWE wrestlers, because my oldest son, he is going to go down the journey of being a pro wrestler, and we love all things wrestling here, y'all. And one thing that was exciting was that there were two wrestlers in our city, and we're like, okay, let's go stand in line to see them. Now the line was a little long, y'all. It was long, but I was here for it. I was like, that's the fun and excitement because, like I say, I don't take anything for granted. So I looked at it. This was time that I got to spend with the kids. We got to sit out here and just have this experience. And I also look at things too, like it's a memory. Like, I don't, some people would probably say, well, I wouldn't stay out there that long for that. To me, it was a memory. It was something that we can cherish. We can say, y'all remember when we stood out there to see such and such? But I'm telling y'all that story because while we were standing in line, there were so many people that actually drove by and they see so many people standing in line. And they're like honking the horn and they're like, beep, beep. Hey, what are y'all doing? Is it a major sale? And I was just smiling. I'm like, no, we're here to see WWE's Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, I think it is. I hope I said her name right because my kids will butcher me for that. But I was like, no, that's what we're, you know. And some people you could tell when they were when we were in line, And some people would just not look their way and answer them. They would just be like, hey, they're just being nosy. I'm not going to answer them. And I was smiling. I'm like, nah, we're here for the wrestlers. I was so excited. And they were like, oh, okay, thank you. And sometimes, like I say, I just don't take none of that for granted. I really feel like we got to just be what we want, like the love that we want to experience in this world. A lot of times we have to first start with ourselves to be that love. And we don't realize sometimes that that comes from the smallest interactions. I think some people think they got to do like the most outlandish things, the big giant things to get credit for something or to feel like, oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm showing love this way. Not knowing that you could smile at someone and say, hey, how you doing? Oh, you look nice today, and compliment them. You done made their whole day. You done made their whole day and not even know about it. So we can't take the little stuff for granted. We have to change, and I tell my kids this all the time, you have to change your perspective on how you look at life and how you decide to experience people in life, because that makes a big difference, y'all. I'm turning it. Oh, let me say this too. After I do the roles, y'all, I turn my work. And I find that when I do that, my granny squares lay a little flatter. Now, I would say, let me show y'all this too. Y'all, somebody make it help me with this, and that's the purpose of the broadcast. When I connect, this is a personal preference. When I connect my squares, I like to have the little bump here. So I connect with a single crochet. Y'all can see that. Well, man, I shouldn't show you in yellow. Let's see it right here. The little bump here. I connect with the single crochet. So I have the bump on one side, and then on the other side is not that little bump. But the thing is with that, I like that bump. I like that. I think it adds the texture. I think it's like a cute little thing for one side to have that, the other side don't. But the thing is, I'm thinking I may have to I'm gonna lose it. What's it called, y'all? When you have to, I think they wash it and then you have to lay it flat and let it dry. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember. Maybe someone can help me out in the comments. But I'm thinking I would may have to do that in order to get it as flat as possible, because I do like when it's flat. And I remember doing another blanket like that. And I think just over time, after I had it folded and just laying, it kind of just eased out. But I still just love that. But anyways, not to go down that rabbit hole, I do after each row, I do switch the yarn, I mean the blanket, and just turn it and go back in the other direction, because like I say, it makes it lay flat for me. So hey, let me know if y'all turn y'all granny squares. Let's pick another question, y'all. Let's pick another one. All right, let's pick another one. And even if you're watching the replay, I think y'all should still go ahead and answer some of these questions, y'all. And we can still talk about it, because I will definitely look back and respond too. So, okay. Is buying yarn during a sale considered self-care or a problem? Oh my goodness, y'all. I wish a whole bunch of y'all could answer this. Like, I would love to know how everyone else feels about this. I'm gonna say it one more time before I answer. Self-care, yes. See, I know it. I know it. Is buying yarn during a sale considered self-care or a problem? I am here for self-care. I'm here. Look how that rhymed. I'm here for self-care. There Premier, is it Premier Yarns or Yarn Inspirations, have a sale now. I think I put it in a short on my channel, and I was saying let's go virtual shopping together. And they have the plush yarn for $4 a bag. It's a plus when you can get it on sale too. Yes, see, so see, there we go. See, K Noise knows buying yarn in general is just self care. See, that's a virtual high five. That is a virtual high five right there. I'm excited. I get so excited because I know I couldn't be the only one to think that. I know, because it is like I get so happy when I buy yarn. I think it's the ultimate self care because there's not a lot of things. Yes, there's not a lot of things that I would say that I have to have. Like you have some people that love their purses, they love their shoes, they love all the clothes. Listen, that's fine and dandy. There's a couple of things I love. Once a month, I have to get my hair done. Once a month, I love to get my nails done. And then I just love yarn. And I tell my husband all the time, like, listen, you got it easy. I'm just like, listen, I'm easy peasy. Not like, and yarn is not that much. Yarn is not the same price as a Louis bag. And not hating on the Louis bag people because listen, if y'all love it, if y'all like it, I love it and I do because I think some of those bags are awesome. But that's just not my thing. Like y'all may not think the yarn is awesome, but for me, it's everything. But I have been sitting here like, listen, I so badly want this yarn, but I told myself I'm not going to purchase yarn. And I'm doing so good. Like I say, sometimes it's like that little thing like, buy it, buy it, buy it. No, don't buy the yarn. My family makes fun of me when I ask them to gift me yarn. So I gifted. Yes, gift it yourself. Listen. Whew, see. Oh man, that's me all day. Gifted yourself. I just said I'm a there's a young lady. I can't remember her name. I know on Instagram she's called Dandelion Tonic, and she does crochet hooks. And she has an advent calendar. Then they turn around and ask me to make them. So see, and I think that's a fair exchange. Like gift me yarn, I'll gift you the gifts. It's fine. Like I had someone ask me to make them something the other day. But the thing is, I like when it comes to wearables, because I don't check the gauge, I was just like, I couldn't make it. Like I didn't see a pattern for it. I was willing though to try it because in my mind, I'm like, I can try it and then it'll be a one and done because I'm all about one and dones. I'm all about like, listen, I'll try it and then that'll be just the only one that I make. At least I did try. So I love just trying something one time when it comes to crochet, but I could not find a pattern for it. So I was just like, huh. And she was like, she said, well, what do I have to pay? I'm thinking like, you don't have to pay me nothing because I get excited about crocheting. And it was family and friends. So I get so excited, especially when the person have a good heart. I'm willing to just give, 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 give. Because a lot of people don't ask. When you get some people, people who don't ask nothing of you, but they just appreciate what you do so much that they're willing like, no, here you go. I'm like, here, because you could just see people heart. And that's just me. I just see people heart and their intentions, and I love that. So I'm willing to give. But Dandelion Tonic is having a advent calendar type sale, but she's doing it with her crochet hooks in the I know I'm gonna say that wrong. I know I'm gonna say that wrong. Y'all know the hooks that got the stuff on the end, and I collect those. And this year, I was just like, I told my husband, I was like, okay, the buying yarn thing we can go with, but that I'm gonna have to try to get me that on on Friday because she's only having a limited amount and she's releasing it on Friday. So I'm actually excited about that. And I think that's the ultimate self-care right there. That's the ultimate self-care, y'all. So I cannot wait to see if I can actually get that because there's been some yarn. That's what I need to stock up on hooks. Ooh, so K Noise, I like my favorite hooks of all time is these right here, which is the clovers. Now, I got my clovers. I remember years ago a couple of years back, not like years, but a couple of years back when I first tried clover, it was before a lot of these crochet groups were getting popular. And I remember someone mentioned in a group that if you never crochet with a clover, it's crocheting like butter. Because before clovers, I was using Susan Bates and no, boys. I was boy. Boye, because it's either you Susan Bates or your boy, but I was boy. And someone was like, you need to try clover. When I say it is so much like butter because it has increased my time on how quick I can crochet, and it just glides. I have not found anything that just crochets like a clover. And no matter how much I try different hooks, because I absolutely love um what's it called? I love I'm looking at a whole thing of them too. Oh, what's the hooks? Furls. I love my furl hooks too, but excuse me, I like using Susan Bates so far. Okay, so see, okay, so since you like Susan Bates, you may like furls because some people say that clover is a little bit like it's so much similar to boy, and they were saying the furls hook is similar to Susan Bates. So I have a couple of furls. I'm not the biggest fan of furls, but I can still crochet with furls. But I'm not like they won't be my first choice to pick up because, and it could be because I started off with a boy and it's so much similar to the clover, but I absolutely love the clover. Like, I don't know, I would say how I got my clover because I love a good sale. That's just me. I really love a good sale. I used to use the coupons when Joann's was open, and I got my set from a Joann's coupon, and it was the best purchase that I could ever make. And the 6 millimeters was my favorite to work with, so I probably have two 6 millimeters because I keep one at home, and I have one in my bag just in case I want to pick up some yarn and crochet just here and there on the go. But even when I get my hooks made, because with your custom hooks. I'll do a live to show the hooks too. I think that'd be cool. With my custom hooks, I usually you have an option to where they tell you that you can get it in Susan Bates, boy, or clover. And of course, clover is going to be a little more expensive. But if you're used to working with that, I think it's worth it. And they just they take all of this off, build up whatever, however they do their hooks, and use the clover. So majority of my hook collection is in clover or in boy. I may have a couple that you can count on your hands that will be Susan Bates, but I find myself not really picking up those as much. So that's awesome. So we had a good time, y'all, when it came down to that yarn buy, and I'm happy about that. Okay, let's see. Let's pick another one. I'm going to be on here for like another 15 minutes because I told myself I'm going to give myself an hour because I still have to go and cook. And I think what's today? Wednesday? I don't think we got wrestling today because me and my family, me and the kiddos like to watch wrestling. So we watch a lot of wrestling together. I don't think it's anything tonight though. I'm trying to think. Is it AEW? Probably. I don't know, y'all. I can't remember. Okay. What yarn weight are you addicted to right now? Woo! Wait for yarn. Wait for yarn. But not all wait for yarn are treated equally. Y'all have to let me know if y'all agree with that. When I say I dislike when I get a wait for yarn and it feels so thin, it almost feels like it's a size 3 because wait for is my favorite yarn. It's my go-to yarn. And not only just wait for, and that's why I like to, a lot of wait for value yarn is what I kind of go to. That's why I love the granny square yarn. That granny square yarn it feels like it's a little more thicker than the regular weight for yarn. And that's why I absolutely love it. I don't know if it's because of the dyes on the yarn or what, but I love that yarn. And I love the fact that it's variegated and you can kind of just you don't know what pattern you're going to get if you use it just like that. Like if y'all could see even in Burnett variegated with the elephant up there, the monkey. Like I just love variegated because I like a lot of colors. But wait for yarn is definitely my favorite. And I would say in a chunkier weight yarn, I love the Burnett blanket yarn. I love Burnett blanket. One of my favorites though, before Joann's closed was when Joann's my all-time go-to weight is 4. Yeah. That 4 weight yarn, it's like You can do so much with the 4-weight yarn. You can do so much. Even if you wanted it more chunkier, just get 2 strands and, double it up. And now you got like a chunkier feel. And I would say too, I started using Burnett blankets and Parfait. No, is it Premier? I know it's Parfait Chunky. I think it's Premier. Parfait Chunky and the different chunkier yarns, like the plush yarns when I make my plush. I started using those after a while when I got into amigurumi, and I love them, but I find myself going more towards Burnett blanket when I do amigurumi. But I would say one thing that I've noticed recently was that I was just like, man, I do miss doing some amigurumi in weight for yarn because that's how I started. I've been trying to start using some of the smaller weights, but I always go back to my yes. Now I've tried K Noise. I've tried to do weight 3, and I even started, I have a whip. I started what is it called? A shawl type, I think it's called that. I I think it's a weight 3 yarn. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. I had got it on a sale and I was like, I'm going to use this yarn. It's like a granny square shawl. I started it, have not finished. It's beautiful, but it takes so long to use a weight 3 yarn. And I'm just like, listen, I can already crochet like 100 projects compared to that one. So I'm like, hey, I'll come back to it. And I never picked it back up. But I want to say the yarn that I used for that. Let me see if I can see. It was, is it by Mandala that has like the shawl yarn? If I'm not mistaken, I think is it Mandala? Mandala. It's like their shawl yarn. That's what I actually use to try to do that project. And like I say, it's beautiful, but it just takes a long time. Just like my go-to hooks are size 5 and up. 5 and up. So I think that's why, even though I love making amigurumi with the weight 4 yarn, you will have to use like a 3.5 millimeter hook. And I'm like, that's gonna take me a little while, because if you know with amigurumi, it takes a little longer because you have to do single crochet. So if you're using a 3.5 millimeter hook, single crochet, it's gonna take me so much longer versus if I use Burnett blanket 6 millimeter hook, let's go 30 to 45 minutes, I can get that set project out of here. So that's why I think I've transitioned more towards the Burnett and the larger hooks, because I'm a person to where I like to see the results quick. And I know that can be bad sometimes, but some people stay the course, because one thing that I really love too, y'all, I love the once I start a project, I have to finish that project before I move on, because it will bug me out too. Wow, that was one of the questions I knew I wrote down in there. Okay, now me, I think I do so much damage to myself when it comes to this, because I feel that way, but then I also would start like 100 projects on the side. But in my mind, I'm so angry because I want to finish this project. So like, I'm working on this blanket, right? I'm working on this, and I told myself I'll pick it up when I do the live. So I did the phone holder today, and then last week I actually started this over the weekend. Over the weekend, that was last week when I was doing a lot of hats and stuff, and I was crocheting a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know why I do that, but I want to finish it. I will work to no ends to get something done, but then I will wake up the next day and like, oh, I need to make these socks, or I need to, like, I shouldn't have started these. My focus needs to be here. But my focus cannot be here because I'll see something and I'm like, oh, I want to try that. So just like another thing I saw, y'all, that I want to try. And I was just like, oh, that's a good idea. Someone shared in a group that shared about the socks, the booties. They said if you make your granny square like you're doing, like for the hexagon, you have to make 6 clusters to begin, right? They said if you make 8 clusters, you and keep going, keep going, keep going, you will be able to make some shorts. Yep. Mic drop, because they showed the picture in the group and I was like, look at that. Look at that. And it was awesome. So they were like, all you have to do, 8 clusters start, make it as big as you want. And what I was thinking was, once you get to the level that is good shorts, what I was thinking is if you go down around the leg part and just keep going like with granny square clusters down, you can actually make them into long pants. And then for the top part, just go back post, front post, double crochet, and boom, you can make you a nice waistband, kind of like this right here. And I think these look cute, the bands like this, but I do like the bands when they make I think you make like say 10 chain and then you go back and forth for however duration. I'm gonna be honest, that take too long. Front post, double post, crochet me, because going to make the ridges, be wanting to give up. I'm like, I don't want to do it no more. Why did I start it this way? That's even like the beanies. Like everyone loved the beanies. They're like, oh, can you make me the beanies? The back post crochet, the back loop only crochet beanies. And they're like, can you make me the beanies? And I think the beanies, I absolutely love how they look. But that is one project that I do not like. Like I do not like going back loop only, going back and forth up and down, because one, I forget how many rows that I'm at. I'm going to have to try that. Yes, I said the same thing. I'm going to have to try that, because when I seen it, I wrote it in my book. I was like, okay, 8 clusters and keep going to make sure it's, we can do it in like baby size, kid size, adults. I'm going to try it, but that back loop only takes me out. So I think if I try it, I have to make my top part, the waistband may have to be like a front post, back post. And even with that, you can do it to where you can make a drawstring. So we are getting closer to the time where we're going to get out of here. But y'all, I think it's okay to pick one more question. I think we should pick one more question and see what comes up. I actually had enjoyed this tonight. I really did. K Noise, I thank you for commenting and having a good time with me and crocheting together and chatting. I love it. And everyone else who is watching and everyone else who is just looking like and supporting, I really, really love it, y'all. Do you stitch with one hook brand or mix and match? Good question. Do you stick with one hook? Look at me, y'all. I have to have one of those moments every time I film. I don't care if it's a video, I'll be like, but do you stick with one hook brand or mix and match? I think when I spoke about the clovers, that kind of says mine. In the beginning, I was a boy girly. In the beginning, I would use boy. That's all. That's all. I think I had it when I started out. That was all that I remember having. Cause that purple boy, I wasn't even up on that. You can get different size hooks. Like I think when I first started, of course, it was like learning to do like hats. That was the biggest thing, and I just had like one hook and just some yarn, and I just started like that. But once I got privy to like, thank you, I'm glad I was able to catch you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. And one thing that I think I was so used to using that boy hook that that's all I would use. Like in the beginning, that's all I was doing was crocheting hats or blankets. You know, in the beginning, you just trying to get the hang of it, because I'm actually self-taught when it comes down to crochet. Like just look at videos and just kind of taught myself. And over time, you learn, like just like you have to learn about the hooks, you have to learn about the sizes, what's good to use. Because amigurumi for a minute was very challenging for me when I first started. I'm mix and match. And I think when you're a mix and match, when you can mix and match the hooks, I think that is awesome. I think that is such a good thing to actually like. It's almost like for me now, this is me. I think it's great because it's almost like being able to use your left hand, well, your right hand and your left hand. That's how I look, because there's so many cute hooks in so many different designs. And like I had a hook one time and it was similar to like the Susan Bates. And it was this cute little yellow hook, but that was all of how they made their hooks, like the Susan Bates hooks. I forgot what they call it because I think some is like incline and some is called something else. Y'all, I will butcher it, so I'm sorry. But I absolutely love that hook. I still have it to this day, but I just keep it as in my hook collection because I can't really crochet really well with it. And I don't know if it's like me not being able to catch the yarn good. I don't know. It's weird. But if you can use so many different hooks, that opens up the possibilities of like getting all the cute hooks. Cause even it reminds me too with that. I remember back in the day, I used what's it called? UV resin, kind of like when you get your nails done if you use the nail polish to go in the light. I remember making some hooks because I got a mold one time, a silicone mold for some crochet hooks, and I made it using UV resin. I put it under the light, and then I had add glitter and all kind of things in there, and it was really good, but I could not for the life of me crochet with those hooks. They were really good hooks. They work well. Some people really could use them and crochet with them. It kind of remind me, I kind of got the idea when I had the pear eyewear and I had a silicone mold for that, and I made the toppers for my pear eyewear. Y'all, I just love all thing crafting, y'all. Anything like I say, I'll try something one time. When it comes down to crafting, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try and see if I can do that. And I want to say in my stash, because I did keep one of those hooks, I do have one of the silicone hooks that I made. I like to try different ones because I lose hooks all the time. So whichever one I can find, that's what I use. Yeah. Oh, I lost. I remember I lost my hook, my 6 millimeter clover, because I was working on a project. I remember I was trying so hard. I had to put the project to the side. I was like, I'm not crocheting until I find this hook. I could not find that hook. And I didn't want to go and order another one because I was going to order it on Amazon. And I was like, I'm not going to order another. I'm not going in the store because as soon as I order it, I'm going to find it. That's what I thought in my mind, right? So I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. Lo and behold, I could not find a hook, could not find a hook. So I went to Amazon, ordered another one, and right after I ordered it, right after I went to pick the project back up because I had it in like a basket that I have. Underneath the scrap yarn was the hook. So I'm like, ain't this something? Ain't this? I knew it was going to happen that way. So that's how I end up with multiple hooks sometimes when it comes to clover. If I have more than one, it's because I lost it. I couldn't find it, but then I found it again. So far, I haven't found a resin hook I like. Oh, I hope you find it. I hope it comes back just like that hook came back to me. Even though I was like, why? I was like, and it happened with me with a 5.5, I think, and the 6, because I have double of those. But, anyways, thank y'all so much for being a part of this beautiful live. Thank you for chatting it up with me. I did get a good bit done. Like, this is the blanket that I was working on. I still have to finish it. I'm gonna show it like this because, of course, with blankets you can't get it all in there, and it's just gonna be a colorful blanket for a guy who produces music. So, of course, they say a lot of times with music producers they see in color, they see the music notes in colors, stuff like that. So I thought it was beautiful just to kind of like, make the blanket colorful, have a story to tell, and it adds to the creativeness of the space. So I'm excited about finishing that. Let me know in the comments below what y'all are working on. Let me know in the comments below if you really enjoyed this live, y'all. I'm going to try to come live more and more with you all on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays. I'm going to try to come live a little more on Wednesdays. Hopefully we can get the vertical horizontal thing together, but if it's just vertical, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I am not prepared with a message at the end, but I always like to leave a message at the end. So I am going to leave a message at the end. I'm just going to have it come to me from my heart, and I am going to say whatever it is that you want to do in life, follow your heart. I feel like our hearts lead us to where we're supposed to go a lot of the times, and we second guess it. LOL, that's how it always happens when you buy. Yes, that is how it always happens. And sometimes we second guess, what it is that we feel in our heart we should be doing because we like to compare. I wouldn't even say compare. We have so many different things that's thrown at us on a day to day that it gets hiccup in all of that's going on. And we kind of like second guess it. We're like, oh, should I do it? Or what if not? What if I don't quite get to it? What if people won't look at this? And I saw the most amazing thing, and this is what I'm going to end with. It was a guy who was doing a music video, and he said he was traveling around the world so people can get to know his music. He actually went to North Carolina. I wish I knew his information because I would definitely share it. But he went to North Carolina, and there was only one person that showed up at the show when he actually found the vendor that would actually house him to do his music because he was giving away a free show. Thank you. I love your positive vibe, bright light, and how you inspire me. Oh, thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's exactly what I come on here for and what I want to do. And the guy, he actually had only one person that showed up, but he still came and he did his show. It was one person, and that guy brought his album twice. And he was like, listen, I can't take for granted this one person. I'm going to put on the best show that I could put on. And he did an amazing show. And him and that guy had a beautiful time. And then more people kept coming in. So then the show that turned into one, he had probably like a dozen people that showed up. And it was so beautiful because I remember in a lot of times as a creative and what people would call as an indie artist, indie creative on the lower level or the not like on your Hollywood level or your television level. Sometimes people get discouraged, but you have to remember that the people who are supposed to be for you are going to come into your path. You just have to keep going and pushing and doing what it is that you're supposed to do. The people that's going to love your crochet is going to love your crochet regardless. They don't care who name is behind or what space is in, as long as it's coming from you, because they know that you have a good heart and you're doing it with great intentions and you are following along. Keep following, keep doing it. Even if it's one, show up. And even if that one person is you, show up. So that's my message to the end. Show up for yourself. And I'm telling you, there's so much love. There's so much gratitude when you show up for yourself. I hope y'all have a beautiful, amazing day, y'all. And always remember, I am your one and your only Lady of Crochet, LadySamoan. And I will see you next time.